Yeah, hi. So yesterday we have discussed like installation of the Splunk Enterprise Edition. Today, right, we'll be discussing like how to configure the Universal Forwarder and Splunk Enterprise Edition. So first, I will explain what is Enterprise Edition of Splunk as well as the Universal Forwarder. Okay. So let us assume like there is an operating system. Okay. Here there is something like an operating system which is hosted on the line, which is a Linux. On it, let us assume like there is a application that is present in this directory app/abc.log. So on my Linux OS, I'm having some application. This is my custom application. Okay, now I want to pull the logs from this machine to my Splunk indexer. Okay, so this is my Splunk indexer. So as I mentioned earlier, if I want to get the data from my from the any application or from another OS, no, I need to install some application from software called as like Universal Forwarder. So now what I have to do, I have to install. So I have to install my Universal Forwarder and I have to do some configuration such that in my Splunk indexer, I will create something called like one index. Index is nothing but a bucket. So all the data which is coming from here will be stored in index. Okay. I will create some index called like ABC. Create. So the in real time also normally right, you will be having like Linux operating systems or like Windows operating systems, right? So as an administrator, right, you have to pull the logs, you have to send the logs from your operating system. Either it can be like a var log messages, something like, either it can be like var log messages, which is like the OS logs or the custom application logs to the Splunk indexer. So in order to do that exercise, right, there are some configurations that needs to be done. As I mentioned, Splunk, actually there is one port called 9997. So Splunk will accept the data only in this port. Okay, whenever I install my indexer, in my indexer, I have to enable this 9997. What is this 9997? Let us assume like for SSH, no, there is one port called 2020. So all the SSH communications will happen via 2020. Sorry, not 2020, 22. Okay, SSH is 22, and if it is a remote desktop, right, it is 389. For MySQL, no, there is a specific port, right, 3306. Like that, Splunk also have one port that is 9997 that needs to be enabled in my Splunk indexer, such that let us assume like this I'm having so many applications, like this I'm having so many applications, like if I have all these applications, no, all these will send the data to only this 9997 port of this machine. Okay, so okay, so I needs to enable this 9997. So now there is something like my node may go down, my universal forwarder may go down, universal forwarder may go down, or it may restart, or it may come out of network. How that communication happens? There is a management port. Okay, the management port is 8089. So using this management port, this both will communicate for the health status or something else, but the data will be sent via 9997. So first prerequisite is configure 997 port in indexer. So if I enable this port in 997, what will happen? This indexer will take the traffic. Okay, it will take the logs if someone sends. Now this is ready to get the logs. Now when it comes to this sender, no, this Linux machine, it has to send the configuration, correct? So there are two options. One is like what to send. So two questions you will have. If I am an agent, if I am here and if I want to send any logs, no, two questions I will be having. Second is like where to send. So before that, right, I have to install this universal forwarder. Okay, I will take it as 2. I will take it as 3. Before that, right, I will configure universal forwarder. First I will configure universal forwarder. Universal forwarder in guest OS. Guest OS or some application. Now I have installed my universal forwarder in my operating system. Next, two questions I will be having, like what to send. There will be like n number of files, what to send and where to send. So this what to send will be done using some configuration, one file called inputs.conf. So there is one like a file, okay, like inputs.conf. In this we will mention like what logs you have to send. Here my requirement is something like this. Okay, here we have to write something like this. So there will be a stanza, like it will be present in the path would be something like opt splunk etc system/local. In this path I have to configure my inputs.conf. Okay, in inputs.conf, how I have to write, there will be something like a monitor stanza. I'll put it over here. There is something like monitor. Okay, and what I have to monitor, which log I have to give the path colon, I think colon forwards 2 slashes slash. I will say what is my path here, app slash abc dot log. This is the stanza which I have to give. Okay, in this I have to mention like this log is there, where it should go. It should go to this ABC index. I have created one index called like ABC. No, here I have to put index. Index is equal to ABC. Now all the data, even though if it is having some 10 index or 20 indexes, this log data will be going to this index. Okay, index is equal to ABC, and I have to mention the source type. Source type means what type of data. So let us assume like it is my Apache log. Okay, source type would be Apache. If it is a MySQL, no, it will be MySQL. What type, or if it is a JSON, I have to mention like JSON. So source type means it corresponds to you are sending some data to Splunk indexer. You have to mention like what type of data it is. Now it is something like access. I will mention something like access log, and there will be one more thing called disabled. Disable. Disable means if I put it as one, no, it won't send the logs. Okay, let us assume like once you have configured the Splunk and you thought to stop the logs. There is some scenarios like you don't like you have configured the universal forwarder and it is sending the logs, but your manager asked to stop the logs from this machine to indexer. So I have to put my disable is equal to 1. I have to put. Now I want to send the logs, right? Now I will put it as 0. This specifies what to send. Here I am mentioning like this is the log which I want to send and it needs to go to ABC. The type is the source type and disable is equal to 1. Disable is equal to 0 means it will be actively sending the logs. Second, where to send. So if you want to know like where to send, no, here I have to put something like TCP out. There is one configuration called like TCP out. Here in output dot, you have to mention this in output.conf. Okay, this is my output.conf. In my output.conf, I will put some. It will be present in the same path. The path would be same, like it will be in OPT Splunk etc system local. Okay, for inputs.conf and outputs.conf, the path remains the same. Here I have to put TCP out. Okay, and I will do something like index, and below that I will give server equal to where it has to go, that where the data has to go, it has to go to the indexer. Means let us assume like this IP is something like 11.11.11.11 colon, I have to give the port 99997. So if I want to, this is the configuration that is required. Okay, just I will iterate one more time. So if I want to send any logs from you or like operating systems, which can be like Linux or Windows or whatever, no. So if I want to send the logs from my operating system to Splunk indexer, right, what I have to do, right, I have to install one software that is called as the Splunk universal forwarder in this machine where I want to send the data. And here, right, I will be having the Splunk indexer. So normally the data will be sent to the Splunk indexer and the data is stored in index. Index is nothing but a directory. It is a bucket they will call. Okay, in technical term they will call it as a bucket, but it is nothing but a directory. So the data will be stored in this directory. And now, first, if I want to make this to accept the traffic, no, I have to enable the port 9997. That is the first prerequisite. Next, I have to create one index called ABC. Okay, here I have to create some index called as ABC. Next, I will go to my agent machine. In my agent machine, I will install this universal forwarder and I have to do two configurations. I have to create two files. One is like inputs.conf and outputs.conf. Okay, and where I have to create that one, that will be present in this path OPT Splunk etc system local. In this path I will be creating this inputs.conf and this is the syntax basically. Monitor colon two forward slashes followed by the log path. If I want to send this log, this is the syntax. Okay, and where I have to send it? I have to send it to the in the index, and it has to store in ABC index. So I will be mentioning this ABC, and source type is nothing but what type of data. It is like something like access log or like JSON or whatever you can mention. And one more standard is disabled is equal to 0. This is with the inputs.conf configuration. Now I know like what I have to send. Next thing is like where I have to send. That thing is done using the outputs.conf. Okay, this is outputs.conf. In outputs.conf, okay, I have to mention the server IP. Server is equal to, I have to give my indexer IP and followed by the 9997 port. Okay, this is how you will send the logs. Now we will do the lab. Till now, any doubt? So we can't use UDP. UDP stands for what actually? So TCP, no, we can't use UDP. So we will be having the Splunk setup in the Google Cloud. So now what we will do, right? We'll try to create one instance of Splunk indexer. Okay, for that, right, I will create one machine. How I have to create my machine? I have to click on in the left panel. Once I log into console.cloud.google.com, I have shown you like how to create the account in the last class, in the last demos. Okay, so I have to issue this command. Okay, then I will be logged into the Google Cloud with my Gmail credentials or whatever. Okay, and I have to click on in this navigation menu. Here there is something called like compute engine. If you see here, right, there is something like compute engine. We have to expand this compute engine. Okay, and you have to select the VM instances in virtual machines, first option. Okay, now if I click this one, right, I will be navigated to this page, okay, where I can create my instances. Now I will click on create. Okay, now I will put the instance name as indexer. Okay, I'm keeping the name as indexer. We can't change the name frequently, so you have to use only one time. We have to make sure like we have to choose the name appropriately. Once we create this name, right, you can't change it. Okay, that is first thing. And the next thing is like I have to check, I have to like select the instance is nothing but the VM what I want to select. Here the series is E2. Don't change anything from here to here, just to check this one. Okay, I can use 2 VCP and 2 GB memory. Okay, this should be, else I will use this 4 GB RAM and 2 VCP. Okay, it should be fine. Now if I come down, right, here there is something like OS, what type of OS I want. Here currently it is in Debian package, so I don't want to use Debian. I will use CentOS instead of that one. So I have to select this CentOS here and click on select. Okay, Now if I come down a bit, now I have what I have chosen. I have chosen the instance type like 4 GB and that CPU like 2 CPU or 1 vCPU, and I have chosen my OS. Okay, that is CentOS, and it is having some 20 GB hard disk. Now if I come here, right, I have to select these two options, HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Okay, now I have to click on create. Now my instance will be created. Once the instance gets created, no, I will be getting two things. I will be getting internal IP and external IP. So this is my external IP which I can access. Okay, so using this only I will be able to log in into this machine. So there is one option called like SSH here. Okay, if I click on SSH now, a command prompt will be opened from where I can do my lab. I can directly log into my terminal and I can do the lab here. Okay, and I have to issue sudo -i. Now I will get the root permission, and I have to upgrade the packages in this machine. So what I'm doing, right, I have logged into my Google Cloud and I am issuing a command called upgrade, which will update this instance with all the latest packages. Now next what I will be doing, right, here I will be downloading this package Splunk Enterprise Edition. I will be downloading and installing it. Okay, just a second. Meantime, if it installs, right, we'll download the package. So this is the Splunk Enterprise Edition. If you want to download, right, first you have to give the username. I mean like first name, last name, job title, email address, any Gmail address, phone number, and all those, and click on agree, and create your account. Okay, a confirmation mail will be sent to your inbox. You have to just verify it. Then your account will get created, and post that, right, you can just click on this and log in. Okay, just I will enter my credentials and do a screen share. So once I give my credentials, no, here I have to download my Splunk. If you see here, right, I'm doing my lab on my Linux machine. In Linux there are like Debian, tar based, and RPM installers. So I will be using the tar based one. I don't want to use RPM. Okay, I will be using with tar based. Okay, this installation would be same if you install it on any Linux system, like it can be Debian, or it can be Red Hat, or it can be any other operating system, any other flavor of Linux. This installation remains the same. Now I want to download this. I have clicked on download. Once I clicked on download, right, I will be getting something called like command line wget. Okay, in command line wget, right, I will be getting one command if I issue this in my Linux machine, no, automatically it will download the package using the wget. Okay, so there is no need of downloading into your local Windows machine and then transferring to that Google Cloud. Directly you can issue this command in my Google Cloud. So now what I will do, I have copied this one. Now I am going to my indexer machine. In my indexer machine, if I give wget, it will fail. It will say like command not found. For that, I have to install one package called as wget. Install wget. Now it will install my wget package. Okay, now the package is installed. Now this is the command which I executed. Okay, this is the command which I have to execute, which I have copied from here. The same command. Okay. Now what I have to do, right? I have to go to a path called as cd/opt. In this path only we will be installing the Splunk. Okay, the Splunk will be installed in this path. Okay, so I am copy pasting this command and clicking on enter. Now it is downloading the package. Now the package has been downloaded. If I give ll, it will display the package. I have to extract this -zxpf. I have to issue this Splunk. I have to give this package, whatever I have downloaded. Now it will extract. The installation is simple. Just extract the tar file. The installation is done. And in here, no, there are now we have discussed about like 9997, which accepts the incoming logs, and management port, which is used to talk to the universal forwarder and other components. And there is one more port called web port, which is 8000. So this is the Splunk web port. IP address followed by this 8000. If I give, my Splunk UI will be opened. Okay. Now my file is extracted. Now it created one directory called as Splunk cd/opt Splunk, and I have to go to /bin. In this I will be having all the files. If I want to start the Splunk, no, then I have to issue something like ./Splunk start accept license. This is how you will start the Splunk. I will give something like admin. So this is the username which I used to log into the Splunk from UI. This is the password. Here I am creating the UI credentials for logging into the Splunk. Okay, it didn't match, it seems. Okay, now the Splunk is starting. If you see, right, it is opening the HTTP port 8000 and management port like 8089. Okay, this one we'll discuss about like in later. Okay, now it will take some time. Yeah, now it has started. Now I want to log into this machine. Here I know this is my public IP. I have to give this in my browser and I have to give it 000 and enter. This is the web UI port now. I should be able to log in. So if it is not logging means what we have to do, right? We have to check the firewalls in my Google Cloud. So for that, right, I have to go to navigation menu. Here I have to modify the networking. Okay, in networking there is something like firewalls in VPC. Okay, I have to enable the firewall rules for my Google Cloud. Okay, so now this is the default port that they have added. So what I will do, right? I will create a firewall rule such that it will accept all the traffic. I will name it as Splunk. Okay. Now I will enable all ports. Logs I have to make it off, and here now I have to make it as hello. I have to specify all the instances in the network, and IP ranges is something like 0.0.0.0/0. Okay, now this will enable the traffic from everything. Okay, and what protocols you want to enable, I have to click on allow all and create a rule. Once once I have created my rule, no Splunk rule. Okay, I would be able to, if I do a refresh, my Splunk is opening. See, I will be getting my UI. So that is the troubleshooting activity for enabling the ports in the Google Cloud. Okay, now I have told you, like, now the first thing is done. I have installed the Splunk indexer. Next I have to enable the 9997 port. Okay, now I have to log into this machine. Now I have logged into this machine. This is the Splunk UI. Okay, this is the Splunk UI. Now I have to click on settings, and there will be something like forwarding and receiving, the second option under data. So here what I have to do, I have to create a port called 9997 in my indexer, right? So let's wait. I have clicked on forwarding and receiving in my indexer. Now for receiving data, I have to configure one port. That is, I have to click on add new, and I have to click on 9997 and click on save. Okay, now my job is done here. Okay, third step here is like I have to create an index called ABC. In my settings, if I go to, there is one called index. Okay, this is the indexes. I have to go to the third option, which is indexes, and I have to create an index here. Click on new index and create a BC. This is the index. So what will happen now, right? All the logs, whatever which I send, that will be reaching this port, and it will be falling in this index so that I can search. Okay, this is the configuration that needs to be done on indexer, and that is done. Okay, yeah. Now next job is to configure the universal forwarder in my guest operating system where my application is installed. Now I will go to Google Cloud. I will click on navigation menu, compute engine, and VM instances. Here I will create one instance. This will be acting as a guest OS. So this one I will call it as application server. So I need a minimum machine that I don't need 4 GB. I need just like 1 GB or 2 GB. Okay. Here I am not running anything, no, else I will put it as 2 GB small. Okay. Now I will change it to the same. I will do the same configuration. I will change from Debian to Red Hat or CentOS, and I'm selecting the CentOS and clicking on select. Here also I will enable the HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Okay, and click on create. Now my application server or this OS will be created. And I will get the public external IP. Now I have got my public IP. I will click on SSH to log into this machine. Sudo -i. So now the same command. I have to update my packages. Now it will update the packages in that operating system. Okay. See, it is not coming. So I'll abrupt it. I'll stop it. I'll issue one more time. Let's see. Okay, looks like it installed. Now what I have to do, right? I have to issue one more command like wget. No. Now if I want to download the Splunk, I have to install the universal forwarder. Okay, this is the UI. As I have logged in directly, it will present with this one. So there are like, you can have the universal forwarder which can be running on Windows. Okay, so if you are running, your application is running a .NET application, or if you are want to send some logs which are hosted in Windows, no, you have to use this. Okay, if it is like a Solaris, no, you have to select this one. Either it is like a 64-bit or a Spark hardware. If it is a Mac, you have to install this one. If it is an IBM AX, right, you have to use this package. Currently I am using the 64-bit of tar based. Okay, I don't want to go with RPM or Debian. This is the generic installation which can be done on any operating system of Linux. So now I will be clicking on download. I will be presented with this command again, so that I can directly copy paste and install my universal forwarder. If you see my universal forwarder now, it is a lightweight package. It is like 41 MB. When you take universal forwarder, sorry, heavy for this Splunk, no, it is 400 MB or something. It is something like almost 500 MB. Okay, 484. It is a lightweight package. That's why it is an agent that runs on our operating system or the application. So this is where how to install yum install wget. If I install this, I can copy paste this command and execute. I can download this package. Okay, now, oops, yeah, now I have installed in this directory. As I mentioned, this Splunk component should be installed in some directory called as /opt, right? So now it is installed in, it is downloaded in /root. Now I have to move that to move Splunk package to /opt. Okay, now I am changing the directory cd/opt. If I give ls, now my package is already downloaded here. It is moved here. So I have to issue tar-zxvf. This is the package. Okay, it has it has created one directory called as Splunk forwarder. When I installed the enterprise edition, it created just a Splunk directory. Now what I have to do, right? I have to go to cd/opt Splunk forwarder /bin, and I have to start the Splunk. Or I can do okay. It will ask for some username and password. Now it has installed the Splunk forwarder. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to create, I have to navigate to this path, opt Splunk etc system local. Okay, I have to go to this path and configure inputs and outputs.file. Now I'm going to VIM opt splunk forwarder slash etc system local. Okay, if I go here now, there will be only server.conf file. There is no input.conf and inputs.conf and outputs.conf file. So we have to create the inputs and outputs.conf file here. So now I have created my inputs.conf. On this, what I have to write? I have to write this stanza: monitor monitor colon two forward slashes followed by the path of the file. Okay, so what I will do, right? First, I will do something like this: mamctr slash app. Okay, this is what I mentioned, you know, app abc.log. So vim app abc.log log. This is the log file which I want to send. Okay. Oh, I don't know what happened. Okay. Mhm. cd slash app. This is from Splunk Universal Forwarder. Okay. Now, just a second. Yeah. So now I have created a log called abc.log. Okay. This is my log. Now I have to go to this path vim slash opt splunk forwarder slash etc system local, and I have to create one called inputs.conf. Okay, this is the inputs.conf. Here I have to put something like monitor colons two forward slashes followed by the path. So my path is app slash abc dot log. Okay, this is my path. Okay, this file, where it should go? It should go to where it should go to the index. Index is equal to abc, is equal to abc. Okay, and disable equal to 0, and I have to mention something like source type. Source type is equal to tomcat. Okay, now this is done. If I put this, will be the configuration which I have to set. Okay, in order to add this output dot conf, right now inputs dot conf is created. Now I have to write the output dot conf. I can do it via two ways. One is I can issue one comment, or I can uh, edit the file. So what I will do, right, cd/opt splunk forwarder slash bin. Okay, here, right, I can write something like else will, okay, we'll write the file only. Okay, cd/opt slash splunk forwarder. Okay, etc system local. Here I have my inputs.conf. Vim, I have to type outputs.conf. Okay, here I have to write something like tcp out followed by some name. I can give some any one name. Okay, so I can give my indexer name. So I will put like INABC. Okay, now down I have to give something like O server equal to, I have to give the public IP address of the indexer. Okay, here I have to mention the public IP address of this indexer. For that, right, I have to go to here and I have to copy the indexer IP. This is my indexer IP, followed by which port it has to go. It has to go to 9997. Okay, and I have to save this. Post that is done, I have to just verify this. Cat outputs.conf. Okay, now I have to start my universal forwarder. cd/opt splunk forwarder slash bin. Here I have to mention slash splunk restart. Once it gets restarted, it will ship the logs to my indexer. See here, this is the log from universal forwarder. I got no. This is how we have to do the configuration to send the logs from my guest operating systems to my Splunk. So let us assume I will append this. This is my application server and I will go and edit it. Vim slash app slash, I will give abc.log, right? Here I will append this. This is Now I have amended this one. Okay, let's see in Splunk whether it is reflected or not. It got reflected, no? So whatever the data you add in this file, right, in my application, that data will be coming to my Splunk with a addition of some timestamp before it. Okay, and I have created something like, if you see the host, no, that is like application server. This is the host name which I give, and this is the source. The source is the type of, what is the log? It is some app slash abc.log, and source type is tomcat. This is what I have given there, no, that is the tomcat. This is the metadata, we'll call it as a metadata. So even now, as whenever the logs get filled up, right, automatically the logs will be appended into my Splunk indexer. This is how you have to do the configuration. Any doubts you can ask me. Put your doubts in the chat window. Hope you are clear, right? How to send the logs from. Even if you do the same process in Windows machine also, the logs will be shipped from Windows to Splunk indexer.